stamp program, the whole crisis that is playing out right here, right now for November. Let me bring you up to speed as far as what was just released in a declaration out of USDA, what this means for food stamp beneficiaries right here, right now, and the latest information that we know literally coming across the wire as we speak right here. Okay, I'm going to say this much. Some of this is good information. Some, honestly, is not that great. I'm going to break it all down for you here in this video. And if you've been watching the videos here on the channel, the live streams, the videos over the last 5 or so days, especially over the weekend and last Friday, you know that this is a situation we're dealing with right now. A lot of good information, a lot of bad information. There's just a lot of things that are changing right now with this whole food stamp crisis. However, remember, over the weekend, as I told you, on Saturday, that order was handed down by the district federal judge, right? And then he basically gave until today, right here, right now, like literally this moment, he gave a deadline today, right now, to give them an idea of what they're going to be doing going forward to send out the food stamp benefits for the month of November. We just got the information out of the administration, as in the Trump administration, what they're going to be doing and how beneficiaries are going to get paid. Let me walk you through the details on this. If you can, stick with me on this. It's going to be some moving parts here, a lot of details. Let me tell you what just came across the wire. Okay, in a declaration that was submitted by USDA, here's what they're going to do. Remember the contingency fund, the emergency fund that USDA has sitting there, the $5.25 billion that I've been talking about for the last several days here, okay? They're going to completely deplete it. They're going to completely draw down the entire $5.25 billion. They're going to take all of that money in this declaration that was just released out of USDA, and they're going to pay all of that money out to beneficiaries, all of it, okay? So the entire emergency/contingency fund will be empty. That's it. They're going to deplete the whole thing right now for SNAP beneficiaries in November, okay? But here's the thing that I want to point out for you. Well, there's actually multiple things I want to point out for you. This is one of them. Remember, they need $9.2 billion to pay out full benefits. They have $5.2 billion. They have roughly half of what they need, okay? So when they start paying these benefits out, you're going to get about half of what you generally would expect from your monthly benefit, okay? Okay, so that's one piece. So when you get these benefits, and remember, yesterday, based on the remarks out of the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent in his interview early in the morning that I did a live stream about shortly after it was released, he also indicated that partial payments could start flowing on Wednesday. Today being Monday, right here, right now, as I host this live stream, okay? So Wednesday is kind of what was indicated. So maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. Okay, that's one piece of the puzzle. Number one, expect about 50%. They're completely drawing down the emergency fund. Good, but also bad. I'll explain why in just a second, okay? Here's the other part that I think is not good, but I think we need to recognize this. Remember over the weekend, they magically found this other account on the side with $23 billion within it. Remember this? I talked about it over the weekend in live streams and in dedicated videos. They magically found another account with $23 billion sitting in it in conjunction with the extra $5 billion. So collectively, they had about $28 billion, enough to pay full benefits for about 3 months worth. Guess what? In the declaration that was just released out of USDA, they are not, I repeat, they are not going to be touching the $23 billion. Therefore, what this means is that they will be paying out partial benefits to food stamp beneficiaries right here, right now, ideally this week. That's the plan. But that's it. They're out of money. They're out of money. They're going to completely deplete the $5.25 billion in the emergency fund. But that's it. They're not going to tap the other $23 billion that they found over the weekend in this secondary account. They're not going to do it. They're saying that would put at too much risk, and they're not going to sacrifice these other programs to actually tap into that $23 billion. Okay, so where do we stand with this? Over the weekend, I was continuously saying in the live streams and in the videos, I was like, hey, just be prepared. They're likely going to send out a partial this week. That's what we heard, right? That's what they told us. They're going to send out a partial payment this week, likely. And then the other portion to be arriving here in the next couple of weeks. That's what we knew over the weekend. Things have now changed. Things have now changed. And the reason that I say that is, well, I'm going to repeat myself again, okay? They're drawing down the entire $5.25 billion out of the contingency fund, the emergency fund. There's no more money after that. It's all gone. All of the money is gone at that point. No more money to be sent out. What do I mean by that? We're out of money. I'm not sure how else to say it. We're out of money. We're out of money. They will completely draw down all of the money, and it's all gone at that point. They have enough money to send out about half of the benefit that you're going to be due, and then that's it. Our only out at that point, our only additional, what word can I use? Prayer at that point? I don't know. I don't know if that's the right word. Our only hope at that point is for lawmakers to come together to reopen the government by funding the government with the 2026 fiscal year budget to get more money into this program. Other than that, they're out of money until they reopen the government. They made that loud and clear with this declaration they just released, as in the USDA literally moments ago, right before I started this live stream here. They released this declaration. Now, you might be thinking, okay, like, what does this mean? Can you give more detail? Yes, I'll give you more detail on this. Here's what this means. Let's just anticipate that we are still in this government shutdown in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, into December. I don't know what's going to happen with the government shutdown. I don't know. We don't know. Lawmakers don't know. By the way, the Senate will be reconvening today, and they're going to vote for the 16th time this evening to reopen the government. It's probably going to fail. I'm just going to tell you that much right now. It's probably going to fail. But maybe they'll actually open it. But based on what I'm seeing, it just looks like it doesn't have a chance to pass. Okay, but what I mean by this is this. If the government shutdown lasts another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks into December, they're out of money. There's no more money. They have used up their emergency fund. Okay, the analogy that I gave and the example that I gave over the weekend was, think of it this. Think of all of us personally. Maybe we have an emergency fund, maybe we don't. It could be $20, it could be $100, it could be $1,000, it could be 14 cents. It doesn't matter. If any of us have any money set aside in any type of emergency or contingency type of savings, like, hey, I'm going to set this $20 aside in the event things get really bad, I can dip into my, emergency fund or whatever. The analogy that I gave over the weekend was this. Let's just say that something comes up. You dig into your emergency fund. You deplete the $20 or $40 or $50, whatever you have set aside. And then 2 weeks later, another emergency comes up. You go to your emergency fund, no money. It's all gone. What do? Well, it's an emergency on top of an emergency. There's nothing you can really do at that point, right? The money that was there to help you during an emergency was depleted. It was used up with the first emergency. Now, emergency number 2 pops up, and there you go. There's no more money left to fund it. Same situation that we're with here, okay? They're going to use up all the money, and then it's gone. It's gone. And then we have nothing else at that point until lawmakers reopen the government. But what I want to say about that is that this government shutdown that we are in could easily last another 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, easily, without a doubt. Okay? Lawmakers are digging in significantly. They're not budging either side. And the only way out of this, now that they have completely denied the additional $23 billion in that magical fund that they found over the weekend, now that they've denied access to that, the only way out of this is literally by the lawmakers reopening the government and reopening and refunding this program. Does that make sense? Okay. So there was a little more hope over the weekend. I'm just being fair with you, but this is the new information that just came across the wire, literally sizzling hot right here, right now. Just came across this declaration out of the USDA, giving the courts information on how they plan on distributing this money, what their plan is, and what's going forward. Okay. Now, also today they're going to be, as in USDA is also going to be issuing some guidance to states on how they can basically get this money. Well, I mean, obviously they know how to get the money, but basically getting that guidance on the money that is there and then how much money can be distributed to each respective eligible household, if that makes sense. But I'm just going to warn you again. I said this a couple times, and I'm going to warn you again really quickly. Only expect about 50% of generally what you typically receive on any given month in your SNAP benefit, as in deposited onto your EBT card. This isn't actually a surprise. You should know this. I've said this multiple times over the weekend. I said it a couple times yesterday in the live streams. I said it in videos. We've known this, that a partial payment would likely be coming this week, but we also thought that the remainder, retroactive pay, back pay, would also be arriving probably within the next 2 weeks or so. As of right now, that's off the table. That is totally off the table, unless lawmakers come together and reopen the government, that's it. I mean, we're literally in limbo, just like sailing on by until we get some kind of reprieve out of lawmakers with the government reopening. It could be a while. I'm just going to warn you on that. Okay. We don't know. I don't know when they're going to reopen the government. I have no idea. I'm not sure if you do. If you do, let me know, right? If you have a crystal ball, let me know. I certainly do not. But anyway, we don't know, but this is what's happening. Okay. So that is that. I did not see in this declaration that just came across from USDA, I did not see any specific dates on when the partial payment will be rolling out. But based on what the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said yesterday, that I highlighted in a dedicated video and in a dedicated live stream, based on what he said yesterday out of that interview, it looks like partial payments are planning to hit EBT cards on Wednesday. Just because they say it doesn't mean that it's, actually going to happen on that time. I'm just saying, okay? All is subject to change. I would imagine we're going to get more updates throughout the day today. Who knows? Maybe my phone's going nuts right now with more updates. This just hit. I wanted to jump on here super fast for you and give you the latest details as far as where we're at, okay? So yes, some money will be rolling out. Definitely not all of it, okay? Anyway, I hope this helps you. I told you I'm going to keep you updated. If you're new here, if you have not done so, please make sure to subscribe. You don't have to. I appreciate if you do. If you don't want to, I totally get it. No problem whatsoever. I'm here for you no matter what, whether you're subscribed or not. Just stay tuned. I'll keep you posted on all this that's going on right now. But otherwise, yeah, make sure to subscribe. Again, totally free. Big subscribe button down below. Otherwise, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more updates rolling across here. I guarantee you this is a very serious situation that is playing out right now. And a lot of people are, getting caught in the middle, which is kind of an unfortunate situation. About 42 million people. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to keep you posted on this. Again, continue to stay posted on this. If you're just jumping on right here, right now, a fast little recap. Okay, quick little recap. First thing I would say is just roll back the video, watch from the beginning, but fast little recap. Declaration was just coming across the wire like moments before I started this live stream here. USDA sent out a declaration indicating they're going to deplete the $5.25 billion emergency fund. They cannot tap into the $23 billion fund that they found over the weekend. Therefore, the emergency fund is empty. It's depleted. It's gone. We've got no more money after this, and we don't know when they're actually going to, reopen the government and have this extra money available. So anyway, my wife, Corey,